Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Alex and today we're talking houseplants again. Now my first Designing with Plants video seemed to be helpful to some of you, so I've decided to turn this into a little series. And today what we're doing is a design exercise where we're going to put together a plant display in 3 different styles using varying numbers of plants. So I think it'll be really fun. Alright, let's jump right into it. The star of the show today is going to be this wooden bench that I bought at IKEA a few years ago. This will be our base for all 3 of our options. For this first display, I'm going to start with this large seaside print in a black frame. Taking the style of this art as inspiration, I'm going to pair it with a couple of baskets as planters. The natural textures and colors of the baskets pair well with the whole oceanside vibe. Because the art is so large, it's really going to be the focal point, so I'm going to just use a few plants as a supporting cast. I'm flanking the painting on both sides with this council tree on the left, and on the right, a monstera on top of some books to add some height. Finally, I'm adding a lipstick plant, and to round out the display, a carved wooden bowl. And like most people, I have a ton of pears that I totally didn't buy just for this video, so I'm going to add those in there as a finishing touch. I love the simplicity of this arrangement, but there are a couple of tips I want to share. Whenever you're incorporating artwork into a display, it's a good idea to layer the plants or decorative objects so they overlap the artwork slightly, like this. What this does is that it visually connects the plants to the art and makes it read as a single composition. And there's our first display. Aside from a coastal interior, this would really work well with all kinds of styles from farmhouse to transitional. It's a good all-purpose display that's simple and elegant. And if you're curious as to where the art is from, I bought it online from Juniper Print Shop. They sell prints that work with IKEA's extra large picture frames, so it's an affordable way to get some large-scale artwork. Alright, this is our minimalist display done. Let's move on to the next option. For this second display, I'm going to start with this artwork that I found at a consignment shop, which is monochromatic and has a metallic frame. With this piece, I think a more modern look would be appropriate, so I'm going to pair it with planters in black and different gray tones. If you're after a modern aesthetic, cylindrical planters with straight sides are a great choice. On this option, I'm going to lean the art against the wall and then add my largest plants as the anchor pieces. Here it's my snake plant, ZZ plant, and my alocasia. I'm going to try to evenly distribute the black and gray planters along the bench, and I'm also leaving a little bit of empty space on the bench so it looks less cluttered. You'll notice again that the plants overlap the artwork a little bit, and I've positioned them so they roughly form a diagonal line going from the tallest to the shortest, and then back up again, ending in the tall plant on the left. So the plants end up cradling the art but still leave most of it visible. I like the combination of the black and concrete planters, and a lot of the plants are succulents which go well with the modern style. I particularly like this trailing plant that hangs below the bench. Having something break that horizontal line softens it visually and also just adds more interest to the whole display. I like the sophisticated vibe of this style, and because the artwork here is smaller than in the previous option, I was able to fit in more plants into the display without it feeling too cluttered. And you'll notice that I swapped the white armchair out for my simple black chair, which reinforces the modern aesthetic of this display. Alright, that's 2 down, 1 more display to go. For this last display, we're going to start with one of my tree ring prints in a black frame, and because I want to use a lot of plants here, I think I'll pair it with mostly white planters and the basket from the first option. I'm going to lean the art on the bench just like I did on the previous option, and again I'm starting with the largest plants that will function as the anchors. I'm also using stacks of books to add height and provide visual interest. You'll notice that once again the plants layer in front of the artwork. If you saw my last video where I talk about the pyramid rule for organizing your plant displays, I find that doesn't really work as well here if you have a long bench or a table full of plants. So what I'm going to do here instead is what I'd call the mountain range rule, which means creating several peaks of different heights along the length of the bench. This keeps the plants more organized. One other thing to consider is that you want to use plants that don't spread out a lot. By limiting the overlap between the leaves of different plants, it'll keep the grouping from looking messy. I like how casual this style is, and it would work well in any boho or cottage interior, or really any space where you're aiming for a relaxed vibe. And this style is perfect for adding fun touches like my little elephant planter there. And as you can see, I did another chair swap. This caneback chair in black upholstery is a good fit for this display. Now, if you want to set up a bench display in front of a window, you could do a similar arrangement to the mountain range and it would still probably work. But you know what? I'm kind of curious to see what that would look like, and I happen to have an available window, so let's try it out and see what it looks like. Ta-da! That was easy. So the plants here are arranged exactly as they were before, minus the artwork, and they look pretty good against the window. You could also rearrange the display though so the taller plants are closer to the center, which would also work well. So these were my 3 plant displays, what I'm calling the Coastal Minimalist, the Modern Collector, and the Bohemian Assemblage. Was there one you liked the best? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know what you think. Alright, that's it for today. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please hit that like button and consider subscribing if you want to see more content like this. And if you haven't had a chance to see my first Designing with Plants video where I talk about my 3 different approaches to designing with houseplants, I'll leave a link at the end of this video so you can check it out. Alright, thanks so much for watching, you guys. We'll see you next time.